Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
When drunkenness meets intellectualness meets bro science, you get bro soup time. This is Dean and the Boys.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is Dean and the Boys, brought to you by Bro Soup Time. I am Dean Mercer. Before I introduce my favorite humans, I want to tell you guys a little bit about something. Shop at Amazon. And if you do so, go to brosouptime.com, click on the microphone in the top right-hand corner. That takes you to Amazon. And then they kick a little bit back to the show. That's a great way that you can support the show. But as always, I look around the room, I see some beautiful people.
Gosh, I love it when we're beautiful every week.
That was Mr. Ryan Manheath.
Hello, hello. Hang on.
Oh, he's going to do it.
I think you're full of shit. I do not look pretty
Let's
today.
go. Then we have Big Black Bronson.
What's up?
Then Mr. Slut.
What's up? What's up?
And then Big Bad Bab. We also have a special guest in studio, comedian extraordinaire, David Dooley.
David.
Dooley.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is great.
Golf clap.
All right, David, how's it going? How's it going, guys?
It's going.
It's going, man. Getting my Sunday fun day on. You know, that's the
Let's go do it.
only reason
like
I
that.
came here with the free beer.
Pop it.
go.
Let's go. Yeah, we had a weekend, guys.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys are drinking.
Cinco de Mayo. It did it to me, man. Cinco de Mayo. I am hurting today.
Friday we went out. I thought that was going to end up being just a chill evening, and it kind of was, but
Until Ryan showed up.
yeah,
Came in like a wrecking ball.
came in like a wrecking ball. Started buying shots for everybody.
I get generous when I'm drunk.
I like that about you.
You were there for an hour, and your tab was like 5 times ours. It's impressive. I'm not mad.
And I
I'm
think
proud
you
of
picked
you.
ours up,
I'm
too.
just impressed.
Did I? I don't think so.
No, you definitely bought my tab. It was like 2 beers though.
Yeah,
So
perfect.
then you
Okay.
definitely put out, right?
Oh, of course.
He always does.
I'm a gentleman.
Yeah.
I did 2 sets Friday night, so I was, what do you call it, sober?
Do you don't drink when you don't ever drink when you're on stage?
Not before I go up. I will have a beer typically after I'm done, but ever since college, I tried it once. I had a couple beers before I went up, and can't get the cadence down, and that's kind of my thing, as Ryan knows. I'm
Yeah.
kind of very cadence-driven, and it just totally throws me off. So I'm one of the rare ones that don't drink. Most of the guys have to drink before they go up.
I see that. That's the way I was. I had to have a few before I got up on stage.
I feel like that would be me. Just loosen up a little bit. Sometimes when we do a Mercer on Fire and we get the guests to come here, I'll have a couple drinks beforehand just to limber up a little bit.
Yeah.
Take the edge off.
A couple drinks before this.
Yes. Also true.
No kidding,
I
right?
can't do that, especially after our weekend. So let's run it down what we did yesterday for Cinco de Mayo. We decided to go golfing Friday night. Or Friday night we decided to go golfing on
The next
Saturday.
day. Yep.
So we went, and the plan was, we're going to have a nice, maybe nine holes.
Just play the front 9.
Yeah, play the front 9. That turned into 18. And then we were supposed to have like a big break where we were going to be able to nap, maybe do some meal prep. Didn't happen. Then we rushed to where we go? Callahan's?
Yep.
Where
Continued to drink there.
continued to drink. How much did we drink on the course? The 4 of us?
48 beers between the 4 of us.
It's
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh, my God. Then we go to Callahan's. Ryan drinks a pitcher of margarita.
It was Cinco de Mayo. I had no choice.
It was strong, too.
It was a strong margarita.
Legally obligated to.
It was a very large margarita.
And, of course, we had we did shots of tequila, too,
I forgot about that.
which are way better here than in Mexico. How's that happen?
Because I think it was real tequila here, and in Mexico it was like
Turpentine or something?
yes.
What the fuck it was, but it did not get me drunk at all.
Oh, I got me drunk, but it took a
Which
lot
is
of them.
disappointing because you think you'd like be coming out the fucking tap in Mexico. It's tequila all
Right?
day. But
Yeah. You
no.
think it'd be right there next to the sink, just tequila. Turn it on,
Yep.
fill a cup.
That was not the case.
I was expecting tequila shots when we walked off the plane.
No.
Welcome to Mexico. Here's tequila.
Yeah.
And then after Callahan's, we had to rush home. We all showered, and then had to head back out.
Yep.
We headed to a Cinco de Mayo party.
Had a night golf session.
Yeah. So we went to a little. I guess that's a house party.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a house
A little
party.
shindig.
Yeah.
It was a last minute Cinco de Mayo party.
I almost burned myself.
You
I
almost
thought
lit
we
yourself on fire.
I thought you died.
Yeah. So we had a piñata. Someone brought a piñata, filled it with airplane shots, and we decided, hey, let's blindfold ourselves, spin around 10 times, and then let's try to hit this thing. The first time,
Still blindfolded.
Yeah,
Wait.
still blindfolded. The first time I stood up to bat, and according to everyone, I looked strong.
Yep.
And then I just slowly fell back.
Yep.
Didn't even swing, just fell back.
Yeah, you got in a real nice stance. I was like, okay, something's about to go down, and just back flap.
Yeah.
Just couldn't even swing. It was,
No, I didn't
it was
swing.
it was the greatest thing ever. Just froze.
It's like somebody hit the pause button and you didn't know how to stop.
That video will for sure be on our Facebook and Instagram page. For sure. Be sure to check that out at Bro Soup Time. But
Well worth watching.
yeah, and then we decided, okay, no one's getting this done if you're blindfolded. No one's gonna hit this thing.
Yeah.
So we decided, still 10 spins, no blindfold.
Yeah, I didn't even get to see the Cliff walked off and took the pinata with him, and I'm just swinging and nothing. At
Yeah,
air.
that was Colby's fault too. He
Yeah.
just faced you towards us, presented you to us, and told you to swing.
Yeah. I had a good swing on it, but then I fell on my ass. I was like, I'm just gonna fall. I'm gonna pull Mercer and just lay down because I'm done.
But then I decided to go, okay, now it's my turn. Everyone's gone. Now no blindfold. I can get it done this time. I can hold it together as long as I can see.
Hold it together. Is
So-
key there.
I spin around. He points me. I'm in the right area. I go back. I fall back 4 or 5 steps, kind of regain myself, and then just start coming forward hard. I smack it. I break it, but then I fall into the fire, and everyone was like, "Mercer's dead."
I was laughing. I thought it was hilarious.
Does he have eyebrows left?
I assumed?
good, right?
I thought I
Yes.
assumed you were singed at least on the eyebrows. but
No,
yeah, you seem
didn't
fine.
get me because I hit a no. I hit a drink, and it just caused a fireball, and then I just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. It was just
I was laughing really hard. The moment I realized you weren't burnt, I still laughed at it, but I was concerned a little.
I appreciate.
I mean, Mercer was on fire.
Literally.
Oh, literally.
Yikes.
You're taking that whole thing way too far.
And then after that,
You gotta live your brand.
yeah, oh yeah, living the gimmick. And then everyone left. We were playing that game Quiplash, which is super fun. Look it up. And then we did night golf.
Yeah, decided to take a golf cart around the golf course at 2:30 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I just said that, 2:30 o'clock.
Again, very legal. Very
Yes.
legal.
Well, the golf cart was street legal. It had lights. We did not use those lights, but it had lights. So we pull up probably, get about 100 yards from the green on a couple of different holes, and it was teams, me and Bronson against Cliff and you, Mercer. Yes. I forgot who was there for a second.
Yep,
I blacked out for a second. But, yeah, had glow-in-the-dark balls, and it was a nice evening.
It was. He plays that course so much. He knew in the dark exactly where the 100-yard marker was.
Yeah.
He knows that course well. So I definitely had an advantage being on his team.
So we,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we had to.
I
Go
think
ahead.
we split a lot.
Yeah, we split a few of
In,
them.
in the end, I think
But
it
that was
came
all
out
me
even.
because I fucked up. If it would have just been him versus you two, I think he would have won.
Yeah.
you
Well,
guys
I
playing
got
stroke
pretty drunk
play?
too, though. I got real drunk with Ryan.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, we're done.
Oh, I ripped the shit out of my pants.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, so the golf cart had the back seats on it, that face the opposite way that you're going, and it had a little railing for your golf bags, and then obviously to help make sure you're safe if you're on the back. Well, I was trying to. You had to weirdly stand up and walk your way,
I don't
wiggle
think-
out. It was weird how to do
I
it,
don't
but
think it's actually meant for people to be back there. I think it's more so for bags.
yeah, but so
there was a seat.
yeah, so I mean, I get up and I try to just hop over this thing, and it catches my the crotch of my pants, and it just blows out. So now if I wasn't wearing underwear, ball sack was hanging out type thing. It was.
Hell yeah.
It was. It made it a lot breezier.
I bet.
And we did 3 holes, and by hole 3, you were just done.
I was like, yeah, I'm over this. Yeah. I need to go.
So is this an anticipation to our June 2nd outing we're going to do?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We're going night golfing.
Yep. Out at Oak Country where we played on Saturday.
Shout out to Oak Country.
Yep.
And the owner who gambled with us.
Yeah, gambled with us in her.
Turn that
You
bitch
allowed to
into a
say all
sports
that?
book.
Allegedly gambled with us.
Yeah, Monopoly money.
Yep.
Was that all we got for the weekend? Should we move into some news?
Yeah, I'd like to forget everything that happened this weekend.
Well,
That was a good.
Well, it's too bad we documented all of it. A lot.
challenge that I've already
Okay, yeah, let's go into this.
already failed it.
So after the podcast last week, Bab said, "Oh, I forgot to mention this. I'm gonna go sober for the month of May."
Sober May, because we were making this punishment wheel,
Yep. There will be
we
a punishment
all
we'll hear next week.
keep talking about it for a while. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to fucking pull the trigger, be the first one to do it. And my goal was sober May, which I have been sober, but part of the deal was no more tobacco.
That sounds awful.
I failed that part.
How long did you last?
So you know it's May 6th, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's how long I made it. So, yeah.
And he didn't even start his New Year's resolution until May, so you know he's dedicated.
Yeah. So
That was supposed to be. That was one of your New Year's resolutions too, wasn't it?
yeah,
Like no tobacco.
it's been difficult.
All right,
You just make it through the winter,
You feel like a piece
guys.
of shit.
Yeah,
over
we
here.
won't pile on. My bad.
But
I thought that's
So-
exactly what we're supposed to do.
yeah, my goal was no tobacco, no alcohol, no substances, and
Performance enhancing.
yep.
Yeah, no PEDs.
No PEDs.
Yep.
And I've made 3 out of the 4 so far. I've lasted, which is not bad. You know, not drinking. It's nice. Not waking up, not being hungover on my days off and shit. But
I went hungover today. I just slept in
Just had a-
and well hydrated.
difficult day. I'm on it because I've been training for my new job at Quick Trip, which is fucking way more intense than you would imagine. The amount of work I have to do, plus my trainer, you know, she has to train you like how to do everything perfectly, and then you have to take care of customers. And I work overnight, and I'm the only one there, and so she was just like fucking pissing me off. sorry, Amanda, but you were, you know, you were. she
Wow,
knows.
name the name.
Wow.
Boom. Boom.
She knows that she was fucking making me mad, and then I needed something. I was about on the verge of like a nervous breakdown. I was ready to yell at a customer at one point. Yeah, dude. So
So you just said, "Fuck it, give me them spirits."
I was like, I need a fucking cigarette. And
Yeah, and you went hard with it. You didn't just go
well.
regular cigarettes. You went Lucky Strikes.
when we were in Mexico, that's what they had. And I mean, Bronson and I, we fucking probably bought the whole store out the whole 5 days we were there. Those things were fucking good. But so yeah, we're gonna have that punishment wheel, and then here soon I'll be doing something shitty.
Which you can see on Bro Soup Times.
Which you can see on Bro
Wait,
Soup
so do
Time.
you have to spin it based on that? It's not just, I thought it was sober. So you're going to spin the wheel on the
Well, I mean,
tobacco?
that
Well, he
was
already
the,
failed.
That was the stipulation. Was no
I guess I
tobacco,
didn't see
liquor, no
the-
nothing. So, oh well. Sucks
like
to suck.
I like that. We will sure film it, and it'll be available on all social media on our website and everything.
Have we finalized the punishments, by the way, or are we still looking for suggestions, maybe?
Yeah.
We're
Via Facebook?
a lot of people. We're all off on what we want
Yeah.
as far as the punishments. Because I like the idea of throwing a piercing on there.
Yeah. I
Throwing a
don't mind
piercing.
that. That's not bad. I don't want something like. I don't think we should have something that's like super painful. You know what I mean?
Like
I'm
an MMA
thinking
fire
of
kicking you
more.
in the ribs.
I'm thinking more of like lungs of embarrassment. You know what I mean? Like
That's
doing
what I
something
was
super
thinking.
embarrassing. But
See, I think
then,
I'd rather
you
get
know,
hurt. I don't know.
Yeah. But I do like that idea of like getting punched in the stomach. It's weird though, but that's not a bad punishment. You know what I mean? You just take one hit. You know, I think bad, but I don't know. Some
Just
of the
make
ideas
'em-
we had before were like borderline torture.
Yeah.
Just make them run a marathon and see how far they get. You know, just see.
Oh.
1 mile.
Well, see, that's one of the things that I'm going to do. I just decided that I'm going to, at the beginning of the year, Jason and I kind of talked about this. I think I told you guys about it. Is I'd like to run a marathon by the end of the year, and I'm a big dude. Big dudes don't really run.
Yeah.
Just
I
sounds
was
awful.
with that too.
Run marathons.
Distance is rough.
So I'm going to try in June. No, I'm going to in June run a half marathon,
Okay.
and then by the end of the year, I'm going to run a full
Do
marathon.
the KC marathon.
Sure,
That's
maybe.
what I want to do.
How many miles is a marathon?
26.2.
Man, I could maybe do it in a weekend. Like if I started Friday, I'd probably
Man,
finish right around
coming
Sunday.
up.
In my
Can
car.
maybe do it in a month.
Exactly. I'll drive right alongside you, playing Eye of the Tiger.
Have you
Yeah.
trained for this half, by the way, or is this just
No,
you're just gonna?
I can run. Like
Yeah.
I used to run like 6 miles a day. Right
Yeah.
now, every day I run anywhere from 2.5 to 4, just depending on how I'm feeling or if
Yeah.
I'm outside or inside. If I'm inside, you'll get 2.5 out of me. and
Yeah,
I'm
and I
done.
think as long as you pace it, you're probably fine. You know what I mean? Like don't exert the first 2-3 miles where you're like, oh, I'm running, whatever 7-minute miles or something like that.
Oh, a 7 minute. That's aggressive. I could
No,
never do
no,
that.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you're pacing yourself. You might be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'm running
I
about
remember-
2 miles, and I feel like I got to take a nap on the sidewalk when I'm done.
Like when I went to boot camp, I had trained, to run because like part of our physical test, we had to run 1.5 miles. So when I went to boot camp, I knew we were going to be running a lot, so I ran a lot, And I remember the first day we go to Freedom Hall, which is this massive 2 fucking story gym, and it was a sustained run only for 5 minutes. That's what they started as, 5 minutes. And I remember they said go, and pretty much everybody just took off like dead sprint immediately. And I just like, found my pace, started running. And there's this really nerdy kid I could tell did not train one bit at all for fucking boot camp, right? We come around the first turn, like he's fucking running strong like everybody else. We do one lap, but come back to that first turn, he's laid out. Face first on the fucking mat, dude, right on the fucking track, like, like the chalk outline, That's what he looked like. And I remember running by, like, laughing at first, and I was just like, oh, shit, because they tell you to put your fist up and yell training time out if someone's hurt, and I was just, like, laughing, like, oh, shit, training time out. And, like, he got fucked up, and I was like, see, that's what you get for being fucking lazy bum. Like, I don't know what you were expecting to do when you came here, but it's funny, though.
But if I don't do that, should we set a time? Should we set a time on my half marathon for the wheel of punishment? Like set a time I have to beat, or is it just if I do it?
I think that's up to you.
I think set a time.
Yeah,
If you
set a time, that's a punishment followed by another punishment. So I think you
can do dual punishments.
Yeah.
I like the idea of time you got to beat.
Oh,
That's just me.
Damn.
So if he doesn't beat it, he gets another punishment.
I don't want nothing like,
people normally to do it.
crazy.
Half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to research that.
13-1. I don't know.
Well, I saw the average
I'm thinking
is
a whole day.
2 hours and 20
something?
minutes
Yeah,
is
2
the
hours.
average.
And it's usually like 4.5, 5 hours is the average
For
for
a
a marathon. So that's not bad. I don't want to like make something ridiculously hard for you to achieve, but
I do.
I don't want it to be like easy, for you
Yeah.
either, so.
Yeah, so we will. Let's do that next week. We'll figure out the parameters of that bet.
All right.
And the wheel will be here next week, and Jason will fucking stay.
I'm just gonna say thanks for taking the initiative on the whole spinning the wheel thing.
Oh yeah, biting the bullet
Thanks.
being the
Yeah.
first one.
I wanted to get it going, man, for a while. So
Hell yeah. Well, let's get into some news, guys.
Weird news of the week.
Yeah. So things got a little weird on I-70 in Indiana this past week. Let's see. $600,000 in bags flew off back of a Brinks truck.
Just on the
Just
middle of the highway.
out in the middle of the highway, flying around. Police said it looked like a freaking movie scene with bills flying everywhere and people stopping, getting out, stuff in their pockets and leaving. And let's see.
yeah.
People are actually calling to return money.
Well, the police have asked everybody to return the money, but everybody's like, it's all insured, so it's technically free money. So everybody's just like, fuck you, I'm not returning it. I'm keeping this shit.
But police are right now. They're looking for a school bus driver who I guess pulled over, stuffed his or her pockets, and left. And then 4 people in a white pickup truck that took a whole bag that fell out. And this is $600,000, and they say people can return money, no questions asked, and people that don't, if they're caught, will be charged with theft.
But how are they going to catch them?
I guess
It would
there's
have to
probably
be surveillance.
cameras or something. And
So
I would figure you'd be able to track it. It's all like fresh in the Brinks truck.
Well, I doubt that they would
'Cause
have all
they
the
were like-
serial numbers
No,
on
They
it.
were like brand new bills. They were pretty new. Like
Not
perfect little
always.
wrappers.
I don't know, but you figure you go to think of some of these places in KCK, little places. They see $100 bill, they're going to take it. They're going to give you your new 20s, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
I
I
you
wonder
just
if
got to
it-
spin it at the right spots.
Do you think the school bus driver had a bunch of kids on the bus?
That would be hilarious, and I hope so.
That just makes
Stay
it
on the
better.
bus. I'm going outside. I need some
no,
money.
get all the kids out and make them collect for you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a strong move
scavenger
too.
hunt.
This just sounded like the first scene of like a Final Destination movie. Like everyone who doesn't return the bills is going to die in some like weird way.
Oh,
you know, like-
100%. Now,
Call
one
them
of,
School
a
bus
bitch.
driver like, oh. No.
one of the reports that I had read before said that actually $400,000 were recovered and $200,000 weren't. So 100% the drivers have $200,000, right?
I would assume so.
I mean, they're the ones that shut the door and they say they don't know if it's human error or just malfunction. I mean, it's for sure the driver.
Oh, it's human error. Are you kidding me? Those things aren't just
Human
gonna-
error?
Yeah, they're just not gonna fucking break.
No,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
it's
no,
a
there's
vault.
no-
Like,
those are moving vaults, like you
Yeah.
said. Like there's like 5 different locks on those things.
yeah.
So let me ask you guys. You guys are driving down I-70 in Kansas City. This happens. What's your move?
Get out and get as much money as possible.
Yeah. I'd
Are
snatch
you
up
opening the door,
cash.
flinging it, whipping it sideways so money flows in?
Ooh.
Little power
Some
slide.
fucking Fast and Furious
Yeah,
type
going
shit.
Paul Walker on these motherfuckers.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But what's your move? Are you guys getting out collecting money?
I am.
Absolutely.
Are you
I
fucking
feel like
returning
if
it?
the cops aren't
No.
there,
No.
I'm not. I'll get out. But if I'm rolling up and I see cops, I'm not getting out.
Yeah, I saw the video. They were like, there's some lady. She was just filming it, and all of a sudden the cops like, "Hey, where's your car at?" And she was like, "Oh, it's back there." It's like, you take any money? We're gonna search your car when you leave. So they're like searching people's cars, just like that stopped, pulled over, whatever. So,
Yeah, they were saying people were like coming to the area. Like, heard about the crash and then coming to the area.
I guarantee
to do
it.
that.
I guarantee it.
I'm gonna do that if I find out it's up right up here. Yeah, I'm going, cuz.
I have 2 daycare payments coming up, so I can neither confirm nor deny that I would take any money from my 70.
That reminds me. Did you ever see that documentary, Exit Through the Gift Shop? It's about Banksy. Well, Banksy, he like made these fake pound notes, like the English pound, right? And it's Queen Elizabeth, and it looks real. The only difference is that her eyes, she's like looking to the side, right? And his plan originally was to go off to like some bridge in London or wherever and just throw the money off the bridge. And then obviously people are going to fucking take it. But he decided, which is very smart of him to do, he's decided to go to some festival or some shit with some of that cash and see if like he can spend it. And all he did was just like crumble it up, and he's like, you couldn't even tell that it was fake. And we went and bought some shit with it, and nobody asked any questions. And he's just like, fuck, like I can't do that because then I'm introducing counterfeit cash into the fucking system, which is a huge crime. That's a huge crime. So he's like, I got $1 million worth of fake pound notes in this closet, and I have no idea what to fucking do with it.
Yikes.
We had a McDonald's All-American basketball player at my high school who counterfeited money. This kid has everything going for him, right? He doesn't have to do a full ride all his life, whatever kind of thing. Counterfeits money to buy like food at the cafeteria. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you need the fries?
How do you do it? Do you just print it off?
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I just know that was what happened, and that's why he was kicked out.
So I heard this story a while back. There was a guy, he worked at this place well before I worked there, and what he would do, he'd get a $1 bill and lay it out. Then every time he'd get a 20, he would cut off a different corner. And then he would paste that onto the $1 bill, and he would just take it to like the local McDonald's, and just hand it to him. And a lot of people, they just look down, they see 20, it's 20. They don't really pay attention.
Don't look at George on there.
Yeah. So that's how he was doing it. And he would just get, buy a cheeseburger. Boom, he gets $18 back.
Right. Oh, my God.
In real money. Until some guys pulled up at work and said, hey, are you such and such? And they're like, he goes, yeah. He goes, come here. And they,
shit.
This is the boss telling me the story. And they're like, these are guys in suits. He gets in there. They hand him a bag, like a baggie full of that money with the $20 clipped off and pasted on. And they were like, don't you ever do this again. And then just let him out.
Wow.
But how scary is that?
That's some fucking mafioso type shit.
He died a week later, but
Yeah, see,
They
that's
found him in the trunk of a car.
he's stealing in a different way. Like that's somebody is having to pay that back, a private citizen, because obviously the register is short, and you're probably going to have to pay that back. But the whole Brinks truck thing, man, that's, you said, insured money, so that kind of changes things. Like, Like, I found a lot of money before. I found $1,100, and I turned it in the police station.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you find it at?
It was at work. It was back when I was working at a grocery store, and it was on the ground, and it was obviously, it's, who knows, maybe it was somebody's rent or whatever. So I turned it in the police station.
Was it like wadded up, or was it just?
It was in an envelope.
Oh, okay.
And so I turned it in. I guess I think it's 90 days, and I actually got to keep the money.
Oh, good for
Oh,
you.
well, there you go. So good deed pays off.
That's kind of the thing. If you submit it like that, organically, if you will, they'll give it back to you.
Oh, yeah, good for you.
Speaking of turning things in, have you guys heard about this janitor at the South Korean airport that found $325 million worth of gold?
Yikes.
Oh, and he doesn't want to give it back. Yeah.
Well, he turned it into the police because, it was like 6 or 7 bars of gold in the trash can.
Yeah, what are you going to do with gold bars? I mean,
you can't really.
Be balling out of
Can't sneak it in the wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
Take some sweet-ass Instagram pics.
I feel like you go to sell a bar of
Melt it
gold, there's
down.
going to be immediate questions asked.
Right.
You can melt it down.
So I guess somebody just ditched it in a trash can, wrapped it in newspaper, and ditched it in a trash can because what they think is like they were afraid of customs questioning them. One, like, aren't you gonna talk to somebody first before just taking $325 million worth of gold bars to an airport?
Yeah, you think you'd figure out how to transport that beforehand.
And how much money do you have if you can just dump $325 million into a trash can and say, screw it?
No shit. I feel like this person was just like Googling, like, can you take gold bullion onto a freaking airplane? And then they said no, so he just ditched it in a trash can. Or it was a drop off. I don't know.
Or it was a drop-off.
That person's doing well in life as far as money goes.
Right. So the guy ended up turning it into the police. And if nobody comes to claim it, the finders keepers law of South Korea, he just gets it all if nobody comes to claim it within a certain amount of days.
That's what's up. What's up?
But if anybody does come to claim it, he's still entitled to 5 to 20% of that $325 million. So that would be
so he's not working anymore.
16 to $65 million could still be coming to him.
Let's
Why
go.
can't I be that lucky?
It's always healthy
Why can't I be
that
lucky?
everyone knows you get instantly rich. It always works out for people when they win the Powerball. And just everyone knows.
But
I live here. And
Yeah.
Well-
Apparently, in some states, it's mandatory. Like, you have to tell
Missouri-
people who you are.
Missouri is one
which
of
is
those
ridiculous.
states.
I think it's
I wouldn't want to do that at all. Like,
Kansas is anonymous. You can claim anonymously.
oh, that's what I would want.
You would have every person you've ever met hitting you up.
Oh
on,
yeah. And people you don't know. Hey, I'm your long lost uncle.
I got this really good idea for a business.
legally change my name to Katy Perry or something like something stupid, something silly like that. Of course she's rich. Of course that random person.
I would disappear for like a year.
I
and
would
just
too.
go on vacation.
See,
all over the
I've
place.
thought about it before. My
We have a
move.
Powerball plan. You remember?
Oh yeah. Oh, we have a compound.
Yeah.
We have
You have to have a
battleships.
plan.
Battleships.
Well, we talked about having war games.
Oh, okay.
Like we're gonna hire some of our friends to hang out with us. Like JT, he's gonna be our drone guy, driving drones, and we're gonna have miniature tanks that shoot them.
Yep.
And we're gonna have a lake on our property where we have submarines, and we also shoot the
This
drones.
is a lake of reincarnation.
It can be. Be whatever we want.
Damn,
But I guess
man.
yeah. So if any criminal activity though is found with this money, he gets nothing.
Oh,
So that's the only downside of him returning it. Yeah.
Huh.
So, but I mean, I don't know how they're gonna
what if he
prove that it was criminal activity.
What kind of
how many
criminal
bars
deal?
was it?
It was like 6 or 7 like
Seven.
big ass gold bars.
What if it was like 8 and he just turned in 7? So
Well, I
his
mean,
insurance plan.
Yeah, but
I also-
now that it's gone, like at some point, like if he still had a gold bar, they'd be like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't.
Well, and if it is any criminal activity or something, and they says 7, and it was really 8, now you've just tipped off the mafia that you have another
yeah.
gold bar, and now you're a target.
Yeah. The Korean mafia. I feel like you don't want to mess with them.
The article didn't give a name though, so I mean, his name might be protected because of that reason. Well, not because of the mafia, but because they don't want people like bombarding him until
Yep.
after everything's confirmed.
But if it is criminal, why would those people show up to pick it up?
Well, that's
so-
exactly yeah. Hey, that's mine. I got it illegally.
Yeah.
Don't arrest me.
No, you send your little old grandma to do that.
Yeah, you
Little
said
sweet lady. Be like, my son took my bullion.
Is that your grandma voice?
That's my Korean grandma voice.
My son took my bullion.
Yeah, she's been crushing it for a while.
Grandma's been investing in gold.
Yeah.
Well, we got another one here.
She bought Google a long time ago.
Have you guys seen this DJ Khaled interview that resurfaced from 2014?
I read a little bit about it.
Okay. So DJ Khaled in 2014 was on the Breakfast Club radio show. And where in that interview, he states that he expects his fiance to perform oral sex on him, but he will not perform it on her.
yeah, that's what. Yeah.
And like he believes women should praise the man, and you can't praise the woman. Like so, he won't reciprocate. So The Rock chimed in on this, and he said, "I take great pride in mastering all performances." And then he's like, "I will kindly exit this fun thread."
Wink, and then he leaves.
That was on Twitter,
The Rock's the man.
and he's Khaled like said it again. He's like, "I will never do it." So
But a lot of
DJ
comedians,
Khaled's not eating pussy.
a lot of comedians chimed in too and was like, thoughts and prayers to that man's wife's vagina.
My favorite one was Trevor Moore from The Whitest Kids You Know. He tweeted, "I don't believe for a second that there's something DJ Khaled won't eat."
That's great.
This is crazy. You're just gonna put out there like, "I don't eat pussy, cuz."
But he's like Muslim, isn't he? Isn't he?
Is he?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I think he is. Middle Eastern, maybe not
Middle
Muslim,
Eastern or
but
something.
Middle Eastern.
Do Muslims they don't eat pussy?
Well, them, it's just like it's all about the man.
Is it against the
You
religion?
know,
Yeah.
like they don't fucking acknowledge women. Like when I was in Dubai, or not Dubai, in Bahrain, this is when like you saw it the most. They told me that like you'll see guys like holding hands and stuff, but they're not gay. It's just like normal for them to walk with their buddy, like, you know, with their arm around them or something,
Yeah.
or holding hands.
Well,
and
actually,
then
we
the
do that.
wife will be like 10 steps behind them with all the kids.
We, you know,
They don't
this
have
exact
airport
same
knowledge,
scenario happened with 4 of us on the way to Cancun, where we were all holding hands through the airport. Remember?
Got a lot of looks. A lot of
That
looks
was more for safety, though. We didn't want.
Yeah, we were a buddy system.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that's how he was raised, you know, that's just what they believe, you know what I mean? That's how their culture is.
Yeah, but he was like you were saying though. He was going off like the guy's the king and he should be praised by his lady. And there's different rules for guys and girls. I'm like, dude, that's how you get in trouble with the media when you start saying shit like that.
Real quick.
I just don't see how you go. Has no one ever told him, like, hey, dude, that's kind of fun. Like, you should just try it. Like, it's a fun thing to do.
Try it, you might like it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You got something else?
Asshole.
Yeah. I mean, going from eating vagina to ham ice cream, I guess it's a weird segue.
It's okay.
But there's a
Fun stuff to eat, you know?
ice creamery or a creamery. I don't even know what a brewery for ice cream. I don't know how you
It's a creamery.
creamery,
yeah,
sure.
They call it.
But in New Jersey, called Windy Brow Farms, they just made this new ice cream.
Yeah.
It's called French toast and pork rolled flavored. It's part of their only in New Jersey collection.
That makes sense.
That 100% makes sense.
We don't have any followers in New Jersey, do we? Before I start saying anything.
Nah, you just say what you want.
But their managing partner told the news station out there that they wanted to just make a straight ham ice cream, but then he thought that might be too gross, so he wanted to introduce French toast to it as well. So I don't know how many people. I mean, I didn't know French toast and pork are a thing.
Is ham and French toast, is that a thing? Like
Sweet and
chicken and
salty,
waffles
right?
in New Jersey?
Yeah, apparently, yeah, it's the chicken and waffles in New Jersey is pork and.
Is
Do you guys like
French
chicken and
toast.
waffles?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
love it.
Is it good?
I mean,
what?
I'm
You've
not
never
like
had French toast?
Yeah,
No, chicken and waffles.
Oh.
I go to this place over on Missouri side. Best chicken and waffles you can get.
That's what's up.
It's
Let's
just
go.
a mix. I can't really see being bad. You know,
mean, I like
I
chicken,
like
I like
fried
waffles.
chicken. I like waffles. Like,
I've only ever tried the chip flavored chicken and waffles, and that's dog shit.
oh, I bet it wasn't good.
Yeah,
That
that's not
sounds-
very good.
Fucking Lay's. They come out with
I
some
don't know where you're at
ridiculous
on that one.
flavors.
You lost
The-
They
Some
have biscuits and
ridiculous-
gravy
yeah.
potato chips.
yeah, for the fat man in all of us. But each 2.5 gallon container of this ice cream has 2 pounds of ham in it.
No
Oh,
shit.
Like real
What? It's
ham.
not even-
Oh no, it's like
Damn.
real ham.
So it's like cookie dough, but they put chunks of ham in it? Oh,
That is awful.
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying that it sounds...
No, it's 100% true.
They
Like
have chunks of ham in there.
2 pounds of the
good at all.
actual Taylor ham brand pork roll
Yeah,
is included in that 2.5 gallons.
Yikes.
I'd try it.
I mean, I would try it, but I wouldn't buy a 2.5 gallon thing of it.
No.
Like, I might-
be that good.
Buy a sample cup.
Speaking of, but what other? I mean, it says only New Jersey collection, so they're coming out with more random shit of flavors. Like
So they
literally,
just got a weird fucking thing for every state?
well, it's out of New Jersey, so like they're
I
only
gotcha.
doing New Jersey flavors. So the next one's going to be like
Condoms and sand.
yes, use needles under the pier, or something like that.
The Jersey Shore
Each
edition?
2.5 gallon contains real needles.
Yeah, this is funnel cake and miscellaneous pills.
Well, now we're talking.
Okay, well I can get behind that one.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
ain't bad.
But it's.
Sounds amazing.
Have you heard of a worse combination for ice cream or worse flavor for ice cream for that matter?
I don't get it.
I've heard some weird. I'm trying to rack my brain. I can't think of any other weird
Kinda
ones.
like
That takes the
those,
cake.
I remember I was in St. Louis and they had this little candy soda shop that had like bacon flavored soda, like soda, butter flavored soda, like all these Jersey sodas.
There's a store in the Mall of America in Minnesota that is all bacon. You have bacon flavored mints, bacon flavored toothpicks, like bacon T-shirts, bacon towels. Like
They have bacon toothpaste, by the way, so that's a thing.
yeah, I tried the bacon mints. It was not good.
Really? I
Didn't taste like bacon.
Well, they have bacon tablets where you can put into any drink to give it a bacon flavor.
Oh my god.
Huh?
That'd be good with like Bloody Marys and stuff like that.
Well, let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fun.
Brian's getting excited. I saw. The
I love
table
bacon. I mean, like
The table lifted up a little bit.
Yeah,
when
we
you
can
started
talk
talking
bacon
about
all day.
It's
Okay.
just overdoing it all.
I got a couple short ones. An AI robot is running for mayor in Tokyo, Japan.
That's how it starts.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, that's
This is
my
the
thoughts.
Matrix, man. This is the.
He said he can analyze petitions put forth by city council, breaking down pros and cons, and statistically dictating what effect they would have.
But is that real, or is it statistically breaking it down based off of the program that somebody with their own ideologies?
That's 100%
made?
what it is.
Yeah.
So unless it can develop, Facebook had to destroy some AI because they started coming up with their own language, and they were like, no, and just beat it with a hammer.
This is not happening. Yeah, I do
I feel
remember
like
that.
someone's just what you just said. Someone's yelling, "This is how it starts." And it just takes like,
It's like, they created its own language. They couldn't understand it, so they were just like, yeah, we have to unplug this now.
yeah. So this could easily happen with this thing where it just
Skynet.
evolves.
Did you see the picture of the robot too?
Yeah, it has tits.
It has tits. It looks like a
course it does.
13-year-old made this robot, and it just.
But it's plastered all over buses in Tokyo, billboards, everything.
Wait, is it a female robot? Is that what you
Yeah.
It looks like a female robot.
It'll win. It'll win.
No, for sure. And then this other short one, I know we talk about it,
Oh.
but I don't make the news, guys.
This is part of our society now.
The superintendent of the school
Oh yeah.
shit on the track.
Hold on, this is in New Jersey too, wasn't it?
The trash state. I'll
Yeah,
say.
he's
Oh,
probably-
so there's a new flavor: shit and track.
Probably, maybe he was eating that ice cream and he just couldn't help himself.
wait. Read this. So read
Asphalt.
that headline again one more time. I gotta hear
Okay.
this.
There was a mystery pooper,
Okay.
and it was at this high school. Someone kept pooping on the track.
Like every week or every.
Yeah, and they just couldn't figure out. They were like, "Oh, that's
Okay.
obviously human shit." So they installed cameras, and they figure out that it was the superintendent of the district shitting on the track.
How does the superintendent not know that they put cameras out?
I was
Didn't he have
just
to
gonna think that
okay
too.
that?
That was
like,
my thing. I feel like he would have to authorize. Yeah, put some cameras up. Let's catch this shitter.
He wanted to
Yeah.
be caught.
You can put the cameras up, but they have to be off between noon and 1 every day.
Yeah,
That also is his lunch break. That's odd.
but I mean,
Why?
the dude's 42, superintendent of a high school. I feel like that's pretty young to be a superintendent,
yeah.
right? He's making 140 grand a year, and now he's off. He's on leave until the end of school year. Granted, it's only like 15 more days.
Well, and you're not getting another job teaching or as a superintendent if you're this guy. Like,
I don't understand.
No.
tell me something about yourself. Well, I used to shit on tracks for fun. Like,
What happened at your last job? Oh, I shit on the track.
Yeah.
It's really it's a non-issue. I'm over it at this point.
Why'd you leave your
I'd like
last
to not
job?
talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying to put it behind me. Thanks for bringing it up.
I no longer do it.
I moved on to a different track.
But dude, he's off on
I
paid
only
leave.
do it in my own backyard now.
He's getting paid still.
Yeah,
Like,
he's-
how do you not just straight up fire him?
That's
or
what
is
I'm
it part
saying.
of the are superintendents part of like teachers unions?
I don't know. But
I get,
I don't know about
he
that.
said he's off pending an investigation. What's there to investigate? You see his ugly mug up there shitting
Pooping.
on a track.
Squatting,
Maybe it was a
pooping.
cover up. Like he knew who was doing it. He's like, I don't want them to get caught, so I'm gonna go shit on the track.
Oh,
So everyone knows that I. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
everyone
you know,
thinks
it's
I was
Taking the
doing it.
bullet? What
Yeah.
others? Okay.
Yeah.
did they save the poop so they can test it?
So
So,
now
they
it's
know
a poop-
every time it was him?
It's a
So now
poop-
it's a poop conspiracy.
It is. It is. Think about it. You know, maybe he knew they were putting the cameras in. He's like, well, I don't want this. You know.
Wait,
feel
are,
like
super-
worse-
are
You got
superintendents are
something
they
going on.
elected officials?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with it.
Are
There's
they
probably a-
elected or they just hired?
They're elected. I mean, at least here, they
Yeah, you vote
they
on it.
elect the superintendent.
So it
of,
could be
like,
that they have to go through the process of basically
That would
taking
make
it.
sense. Yeah. Well, speaking of shitting on track, let's go to Play-Doh. Because that's a good segue, right?
Yeah.
Shit and Play-Doh.
Big segue,
yeah,
guys.
big. Yeah. No, there was a guy in
a bit of a
Massachusetts.
reach,
So
but
the
yeah.
Northeast is not looking good on the podcast today. There was a guy in Massachusetts who went
Do
to a
better.
Walmart that so you know how they have those security devices that make noise, like if you take them out, like a electrical device or something that they'll have on it, they have to disconnect from the cash register. Right. So this guy was going to Walmart, grabbed a few of the things, and put Play-Doh around the sensor to try to like muffle the sound when he runs out of the store.
Not a bad idea, at least.
Well, it didn't work. I mean, you still heard everything, and he just dropped it and ran. But he ended up leaving his fingerprints all over the Play-Doh because of like trying to smash it down to make it quiet or whatever. So like, literally just goes in to steal stuff, literally gives him his fingerprint, and then runs away. Like that was his move.
Do better.
Like, be a better criminal. Like, dude, you got to really think about this. Like, if you went through the process to like think about how to like muffle that sound, and you bring your own Play-Doh, you've thought about it a little bit. Think harder. Think just a little bit harder next time.
Yeah, Google some stuff.
farther outside.
I mean, the guy's robbing Walmart, so he's obviously wasn't doing that great either.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Target or anything.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he wasn't even ready for the big time.
Yeah.
Working on small petty stuff and then working his way up.
So are we ready to move into some
Well,
sports?
I mean, I know we don't like to get political or anything. But it's kind of a big deal about North and South Korea.
Oh, you want to talk
That's
about
a big
that?
deal.
Okay.
You know, them,
Yeah.
coming to terms and trying to end their grievances.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's
Just cool to me. You know what I mean? I know we don't get political and shit, but that's a big deal.
No, that's huge. Yeah.
60 years of hate, and then
now they're holding hands, crossing that imaginary line.
So what part of that Plato story got you thinking about North and South Korea?
Well, I just wanted to add news to it. That's cool. I just thought it's a cool story.
That robot they're going to elect is going to ruin all that.
Yeah. Japan.
Yeah, right.
Take over.
That robot elect.
It's going to ruin everything.
But anyway, sorry.
Let's move on to some sports. Albert Pujols, 3,000 hit.
3,000 hit club.
He's one of
Big
33
time.
players to do so.
Yeah.
1 of 4 with
He's all right.
600 home runs.
Big hitter.
That's pretty awesome. There's a movie, Mr. 3000, Bernie Mac. Look it up.
Oh, great movie.
Rest in
Great
peace.
movie.
Oh, yeah. R.I.P. Thoughts and prayers.
R.I.P.
But you had an interesting. We were watching this at the bar, and then Ichiro was up there, who has 3,000 hits.
Yeah. So he also has, Ichiro has 3,000 hits, but he just retired. Well, kind of retired. It's weird.
Yeah.
So he's 44, 45 years old. So the guy's been around a little bit, but he didn't come over to the States until he was 27 years old. And he played in Japan before that. So he had almost 3,000 hits in Japan as well as 3,000 hits in the major leagues.
Holy shit.
So I could honestly see, like, if you came here in his, he came in his prime, but, like, but was in the major
Early
leagues for the
20s,
entire time.
yeah.
He very well could have beaten Pete Rose's hit record, which is like 4,200 or something like that. Yeah. So he could have easily, like, not easily, but like he could have very well broke that record
Yeah, had a good shot.
and been like the all-time best hitter in the game. So, but what's really cool about him though too, so he retired, but they moved all of his salary to front office stuff. So now he's going to be the front office guy. But he trains every day with the team still. Like he'll go out to do warm-ups before games and everything because he's like, it's been my life for 40 whatever years.
Yeah.
Like I can't just stop
Yeah.
doing it. So he goes and he works out with them before the game starts, and then goes up to the box and watches the game.
That's awesome.
Funny thing about that is next year, Seattle starts off their season in Japan, and they're saying that he might sign a one-day contract and play.
I think that's pretty cool.
That'd be fun.
That would be cool. Go back to where it all started, play one day, and then retire as a Mariner.
Well, let's just stick to baseball while we're here. I know it's not exactly a hot streak, but for the Royals, might be on a hot streak, right?
They were up 4-1.
Junis pitched a hell of a game today, and Soler has been raking.
So
Yeah.
what's
He's
our problem
killing it.
overall with the
Bullpen
Royals?
pitching.
Just blowing leads. They're
Really?
just awful.
We're scoring. I mean, we started
thought
off slow with runs, but we started scoring them here the last couple weeks. Like we've been really starting to heat the bats up, but it's been like Eric said, it's been pitching.
Now, a couple years ago, didn't we have one of the best bullpens in the league?
Yeah.
What happened to that?
And Wade Davis got traded away for Soler.
It was
And
expensive.
yeah.
Because
And
we had like
bullpen's
4
expensive.
starters.
And Herrera's the only one still left from that, that great bullpen that we
Is
had.
he still a beast?
Yeah.
Yes.
You just can't get to him. Like, you
'Cause he
blow
closed-
leads before the ninth.
Yeah. Okay.
We had like 4 top-tier pitchers every game. You know what I mean? So the
We had-
rotation was just stacked, and you can't
Yeah.
You
afford
can't
that.
sustain
Yeah.
that. Like,
We
At least
essentially had
our
like 3
market.
closers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also, in the offseason, we traded away a bunch of some of our better relievers to dump payroll. Like, they literally gave Soria away and another pitcher for someone to take Soria's bad contract.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're just trying to save money and rebuild the farm system so eventually we can get the team better.
So I think when we won that World Series, they were just like all in. Since we made it to the World Series, they're like, we got to get back. So they just started spending money on pitchers. And then immediately after we won, half of them, more than that, were traded, like immediately after we won it.
So we're just. How long does it take to build? Like how it took us forever.
Apparently 30 years.
Yeah. Is it 30 years?
It's different now because the draft is different because you have set amount of money you can spend in the draft. But before, like the number 1 pick wasn't always the best player because they based it on signability. So a lot of times the best player would go at the 15th pick, but now everything's slotted. So you have everybody. You can pick Bryce Harper at number 1 pick, and pay him what you would normally pay him, and not have to worry about him wanting a ridiculous amount of money right out the gate. So
Yeah, 'cause
it's helped that way.
There would be guys. I'm sure a lot of sports guys know the name Scott Boras. He represents feels like half the damn league, but like the Royals back in the before Dayton Moore got here would avoid drafting anybody that signed with him because just being able to sign them after drafting him was almost impossible because they wanted way too much money.
Oh, wow.
And the Royals also started spending a lot more money in some of the Latin community areas. They have a bunch of stuff, so it's a little quicker as far as scouting's a lot better now too. And there used to be a lot more buzz early on, but it seems like now the scouting's so much on these kids that they do a better job now, basically.
The Royals were actually one of the first, I think, franchises to go to those Latin American countries and set up like baseball complexes and like the Royals facilities in whatever country. And
when
then
Dayton Moore took over, that was like his number one big thing when they started out was we're going to put money into this.
I mean,
this
when
side
you
of
come
things.
out the womb with a fucking baseball bat.
Yeah.
You gotta be good.
Well, I think that's how we got Ventura, wasn't it? Was from one of those type of things.
Yep.
So
Sally came from down there too.
yep.
So, but I don't know. I if we're gonna do it, I think we should do it like Houston did it. I think that's the blueprint. And they took them about, I want to say 5-6 years.
Yikes.
But they're stacked now, dude. They have so much talent in that team.
That seems like what happens. Like we build up a lot of players, and then we just don't want to pay them or can't afford them in general, and just ship them off.
It'll help coming up because we're gonna get a new TV contract. Because the TV contract they have now is shit. It's one of the worst ones in baseball.
But how are they going to get a better one now? Because now that we suck.
Because we have history of when we're good.
People watch.
Yeah. So I think that'll help. And we're not horrible. I think that's why they did throw some money at the starting pitching and stuff like that in the offseason. So I think their goal was not to lose 100 games, but to be somewhat respectable at least. And hopefully they still get the ratings and they'll get a decent deal. And the one they had, we were so bad when we signed it, like really bad. It was after
Allard Baird and all them were here.
Yeah, and they weren't even trying.
Yeah.
And so it was just an awful contract, and it was like a 15-year deal or some shit. So
Yeah.
so we've been handcuffed a little bit with that. With a bigger deal, they'll be able to sign more of their re-sign more of their guys.
And I don't think it'll be that big of a. I mean, it's definitely going to be a kind of a rebuild. I mean, we're already in it and seeing what it's going to be. But we've got a lot of actually really good pieces right now. Jacob Junis is one of them that he pitched today. I think he's got the potential to be one of the best pitchers in the league. But we have him under contract for like the next 5 or 6 years. And then Duffy wants to stay around, but I could see them trading him at the deadline to kind of get some more pieces built in. I don't want to see him go, but it's very possible that they do it. I mean, you got Salvi here for a while as well.
Salvi will always be the corner piece of the team. He's the face, so he's not going anywhere.
And Jorge Soler, him emerging and coming on the way he has, I mean, it's just been huge.
He needed to because that was looking really bad trading Wade Davis away.
That dude, and Soler can crush a ball.
breaks.
Like he hit one the other day, almost 460, like just towering shots. Wow, it was incredible.
Salvi's a catcher, though. You always have to be careful.
Yeah.
I mean,
At some point, he'd probably have to play first base or something.
First or
to move,
DH.
to move out of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because on the wear and tear on your knees and stuff like that. And catchers are notorious for, especially as big as he
he's
is.
huge.
Yeah,
He's
They
a
have
huge
fucking-
man.
They have, like you were saying, like just short careers.
And their knees
Behind
go
the
bad.
plate,
It's
they
just
kinda
hard.
do.
It's a lot of wear and tear on your body. I
But do
think
they
about
do
it
that
times.
often where they eventually move them like, hey, you can't handle
Most of the time,
catcher?
So that's like
Yeah.
Mike Sweeney. Mike Sweeney was a catcher and then moved to first base.
Oh, no
yeah.
shit.
He did that pretty. He played most of his.
Say
Joe,
that name,
yeah.
Say that name again.
Joe Mauer.
Mike Sweeney.
There we go.
And then Joe Mauer for the Twins did the same thing.
moved to
The only
first.
one that like I can really think of that's been really good consistently and has been in the pitch or the catcher position as long as they have is Yadier Molina.
Molina's been around for a while.
He's been there
How long was
forever.
Pudge? How long did he
Oh,
play?
Pudge too, I
He was
guess, yeah.
there for a while.
But those are little. Salvi's real. He's a large catcher.
Yeah, those guys are little.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be nice to have him there, like help grooming the pitchers. And I mean, Salvi's, I mean, he knows his stuff and he knows how to call a game. So having him there to at least even just talk with him, if he's not catching every single day, is huge benefit to us.
He takes so many balls foul tipped off of him. And that's another thing is he's so big.
Yeah.
He's more of them are going to make contact obviously with him. So I at some point think that they'll move him out of it or he'll be DHing a lot more.
Which is what he did today, I think.
Yeah, and they're giving way more time off now, especially with Butera. Is a decent replacement.
Right on. Let's just keep it local for now. Derek Johnson to the Raiders.
What are you doing to me,
How
DJ?
do we feel? How do we feel?
I'm fine
I
with
mean,
it
he
because
needs money.
yeah, he's
I
got.
wish it was any other fucking team
He's
besides
gotta get
that
paid.
one. Though.
I don't. I think it came down to it that he wasn't getting as many offers, and he's got a.
Why is
it's
that?
a short window?
Well,
he's older.
He's older. He's old for a linebacker. What is he, like 35, 36? And then he's got 2 Achilles injuries. I don't know if he had any concussions.
I'm sure he
problems,
has.
but
Yeah,
ones that we know of. I mean,
Yeah,
but-
I don't remember him missing a lot of games because of him. So
Right, but the big thing is those Achilles injuries. I mean, especially at his age, you don't really bounce back the way you would if you were 10 years younger. So I think they're a little worried with that. And then obviously the Chiefs just wanted to get younger, so they went on a different direction. The Chiefs wanted him to come back and coach if nobody would sign him.
I still think he will.
I think he will at some point too.
I think he maybe got a year or two left in the league, and then.
But he for sure comes back, signs a 1-year deal.
Yeah, he'll
and
retire
retires
as
as
chief.
Andy Reid's already said that he would hire him on the coaching staff.
Yep.
Like just flat out.
That's really cool. That's when you know you got a good guy. When they say, "Hey, if you don't get the offers you want, you got a home here."
But
That's pretty neat.
fuck the Raiders, man.
Yeah.
For real.
I think this is
For
payback
real,
for our
dude.
6th round pick.
Yeah.
Kenzie's like, "Fuck you, taking my
damn.
kid. I'm gonna take Derek Johnson."
Still my favorite player.
Derek
Hasn't
Johnson.
Even, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Khalil McKenzie.
Oh,
Hasn't
from
even
the
stepped
draft.
foot on a field yet.
gonna get that
He's a
jersey?
6th round pick. I just like the fact that we drafted the Raiders
No, I love it.
GM's son, and
you-
he just started talking shit.
did you see one of his tweets the other day? It was he tweeted out something like, "I woke up this morning and found out that Pizza Hut started following me. Today has no other choice but to be a good day."
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Stick to the NFL. Jim Irsay. Did you guys see this? He bought the original founding document of Alcoholics Anonymous for $2.4 million.
So he's a recovering alcoholic himself.
Okay.
So he's been sober. I think it said 25 years, something like that. So
Allegedly.
So he bought these documents and he wants to to have them travel around and be more, I guess, well known because he 100% believes, which I mean a lot of people do, obviously, that AA helps save lives. So he wants to try to spread the word even more. So he bought these documents. He's going to display them and kind of have them travel around and be a spokesperson, I guess, for him. So pretty cool deal.
Very
Hell yeah.
admirable.
And then we had the Kentucky Derby, and I won some cash from the Kentucky Derby because.
It was
Yeah.
rigged. I think
was
they put too much
rigged
water on the.
So we got done golfing. I forgot Bronson and Eric. They ran off to go see some people we had seen out on the course. Ryan and I stayed in, had some chips, and turned on the Kentucky Derby while we were waiting in the clubhouse there. And they're just getting ready to race. And then Eric and Bronson get back, and we just start picking horses. I just see number 7 on the screen. I just say, that's my guy.
Start throwing money around.
So we just started throwing some money around. I leaned over to the homegirl behind the counter and said, "Hey, you want in on this?" She started making phone calls, like trying to figure out who.
I thought she was calling her bookie to get inside information. I was like, "What the hell is going on?
Yeah,
we got to
she
get
was
ourselves
nice.
into it."
Yeah, and like we asked her, we were like, "Are you calling for advice?" She was like, "Yeah."
She was like, "What kind of odds am I getting?" Because she's like, she wanted to take the worst odds. We're like, "Well, no, you just get to pick a horse. We're not doing that.
We'll start telling you names.
We're not paying
Yeah.
50 to 1 on your odds over here. We're not."
Let me tear up this dollar bill.
Yeah.
You get how much again?
You keep those $2. You sound a little too
Anyway,
knowledgeable.
Justify was the winner. That was the one I
Justify.
picked. I think I won $14 or $10.
Closely followed by the
something
Good
like that.
Magic.
Just happens to pick number 7, the odds-on favorite.
Yeah, I had no idea until I started looking up horses' names, and then I was like, found mine, number 7, said Justify, and then first thing, the odds-on favorite, and I was like, oh sweet, I picked a good one. And I kind of enjoy betting. It made horse racing fun.
Yeah, you were all in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Standing up,
So-
screaming in the middle of the clubhouse.
Yep, I won. I made it rain for a
You
second.
did. There's video evidence of you making it rain.
I want to go to the Derby one year, man.
Eric's
I've heard
been.
nothing
Yeah,
but it like a huge party for like a week.
It was
For like a
yeah.
fucking week.
It was a mess. It was a
Like,
good time though.
We
you
like,
do
I
the
knew some
infield?
dudes from Louisville in
Yep.
the Navy, and they say it's fucking great. Great.
If I did it again, I'd want to get box seats though. And the infield, because you can still go on the infield from the seats. It's just it's a long fucking day. And there's a bunch of races. I
And
don't
you're
know
dressed up.
Yeah. Well,
outside
it's not.
and it's
The
hot.
people in the infield don't do it as much. But yeah, you got the big hats and everything like that. We did dress up, and it was hot.
Yeah.
And we were burning up, and it's just kind of like a little festival inside of it. Like you can't even see the race from the infield.
Oh, okay.
Like you have no idea what's going on. Like there's a few big screens, but you have to walk to find them. So it's not like there's a horse race going on, but people don't have any idea about it. What's going on?
They're just there to party.
Yeah, you can bet and
just there
stuff
for a
like
good time.
that. Like there's like betting windows and all that kind of stuff like that. But people are just walking around just wasted. There was this one guy, he was passed out. People had been drawing on him all day long.
Oh no.
Dude, and he would. It was weird. Like people would draw on him. He'd wake up and he'd just stare at him. and then just go back to sleep. And at one point, he just got up and walked away and just went to another camp, like where people had set up like chairs and stuff like that, and just like lay down in their camp. Like, does he know? I don't even think he knew who they were. Like, and I don't think he knew where he was laying the first time. I think he was literally just wandering around, falling down and falling asleep.
That's how you get
Taking
hurt.
naps.
Well, did it rain this year? Is that why it was so? It was
Oh,
just
it was
pouring,
so
right?
muddy. That last straightaway, it
Yeah.
seemed like those horses were struggling.
Yeah.
It was.
What's ironic is they make such a big deal about the fashion, all the hats and stuff. It's like how many of those people took the hat off during the rain because you know what I mean? Like hats are supposed to protect you from rain, but they're like, oh, this is expensive. Like get this hat off of me.
I think it was Ryan said it was.
Yeah.
I think Ryan said it was the most rain it's ever
Yeah, they got-
accumulated
Really?
ever.
The wettest Kentucky Derby, I think they had over 2.5 inches of rain before they actually
Jeez.
ran the
Oh,
race.
those poor horses.
I'd be
man.
worried my horse is gonna slip and
I
like
know.
break its hoof
Yeah,
or something.
break its
man.
fucking
They're worth
legs.
millions of dollars.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised if people were pulling horses out.
And then you send it to the glue factory.
Dude, the guy that ended up winning with Justified, he had like 4 other horses in the same race.
Oh,
It's
really?
like,
Like the
yeah,
owner of them?
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird
It's like,
industry.
man, you own a lot of expensive horses.
I looked that
I'm
up one
mad.
time because Dave Portnoy, he was like, I own horses. And he started talking about how he got into it. And there's just this service. Like, right now, we could pool all our money in together, however much you want, $100 a person, and we can buy that percentage of a horse.
Dude, they're expensive.
I
Yeah.
know, but
Then you gotta train him.
then I like the idea of
Sure.
Feels,
owning a horse.
feels like an old money hobby though. Like,
win
you know what I
40
mean? Like,
I don't have nothing else to do with this.
Gronkowski-
Listen,
How's
guys,
that
I won
little buttercup doing?
$14 on a
gonna
bet,
say.
and I'm all in now.
You won $14, and now you're wanting to buy a horse. That
reinvesting.
escalated quickly.
Mercer's very into horse semen right now.
Horse semen, yikes.
He goes gold bars and horse semen. That's pretty much the
what he has in his
future of finances.
That's what he has locked away in the safe at the house here.
I like that.
Wasn't Wes Welker like hammered at the Kentucky Derby a couple years ago?
Yes.
Like there's evidence, there's all this pictures or something
Yeah.
like that. He's just wasted.
Well, Gronkowski
yeah.
just invested in
That's
on
right.
a horse. Well, the horse is actually called Gronk. Like,
of
the
course it
horse
would
was
be.
named
Of
after
course
him.
it
it
is.
would be.
No, like it was already named after him, and then
Oh,
so
and then
then
he
he
bought
bought
it.
in on it. Yeah,
Oh,
but it's a
yeah.
pretty
He's-
big time horse. Like
He saw
it's
that, and he was just like, oh, yeah, I'm in.
I gotta be
Here's
in
some-
on
Fuck
that.
yeah.
Here's a check.
I got a funny story about Wes Welker. So he's a fight out from Texas Tech, and I was a fight out at Kansas State. So like we would hear stories about him. So I guess in college he used to walk around the fraternity house naked and yell at pledges and call them gay for staring at him. Like that used to be his thing.
That sounds like a very fraternity thing to do.
That was his thing. He would walk around and
Like
yell
stereotypical.
at people for being gay by looking at them.
There was a guy.
Dickhead.
Stop staring at my dick,
Asshole.
homo.
There was a guy. There was a guy at my high
Welcome to
school.
fight out.
There was a guy at my high school. Anytime we'd have to shower after wrestling practice or something, before he took his underwear off, he would just don't look at me, I'm naked, and then just drop them.
Everybody would look and then he'd just drop.
Yep.
Yep.
But it's that time in the show. We have an FMK, a fuck, marry, kill. I'm gonna name 3 celebrities, 3 '90s pop stars, and we're gonna figure out which one we want to fuck, marry, and kill. We have Britney Spears.
Ooh, Britney Spears now or 1990s?
She's good. She's good now.
Yeah,
Now
it's
it's
good,
looking real good.
Yeah, whatever fits.
Still
and then there's
fit.
Christina Aguilera. I think we
Early
all know which one we
2000s.
want that.
Early 2000s.
And then Jessica Simpson. Got to fuck one, marry one, kill one.
Who's starting it?
God.
Who feels confident?
I'll roll. So we're talking now, or
Whichever
in
one
their
fits your
prime.
narrative.
I don't know. See, I was always big. I guess I would kill Britney Spears. Marry. Whoa.
What?
Damn.
Bronson was not it.
I would marry. I don't know. Maybe I should have thought this more. No, I would marry Simpson and fuck Christina Aguilera.
Okay.
I think that seems a good direction for me.
What about you, Bab? Who you
I'm
got?
not a Britney Spears fan.
I would fuck Britney Spears. I'd marry Christina Aguilera, and I would kill Jessica Simpson.
Yikes. What about you?
I'm probably marrying Jessica Simpson if she's wearing those Dukes of Hazzard shorts. I would be fucking Britney Spears and probably killing Christina.
Okay. What you got, David?
Well, as a married man, I'm extremely offended you guys would even consider bringing this option. I wouldn't even think about this. But in the event, that something terrible happens,
Yeah, it's a
I'm out in the
hypothetical.
market again. I think I'm I think I'm killing Brittany just because I don't trust her. And just something about this whole roller coaster. She's crazy. I think if I'm, making sweet, sensual, whatever, I'm not going to discuss, Christina. Yeah, I think Christina just because of that one album, Dirty.
Dirty.
And then I'm going to marry Simpson because she's got, all the clothing lines. So you're good to go for a long time. You're flying first class everywhere the rest of your life,
I like it. I like it.
I'm going to... Oh, did we
Bronson
go
hasn't
Bronson?
gone.
I haven't gone. I think I'm gonna fuck Simpson. She's always looked good. And then I'm gonna marry Brittany. I'm gonna marry Brittany.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Yeah, she's back. Dude, she's like #1 performing artist in Vegas, dude. Just like this last year.
Yeah, she's got a
She's
residency.
doing real good right now. So, then I think I'm gonna kill Christina. She always kind of scared me a little bit when I was little.
Yep.
The one with the dreadlocks or whatever she had going on. Yeah, it terrified
This
me.
one's hard for me, but I'll fuck Brittany. I'll marry Jessica Simpson. I'm killing Christina Aguilera.
Damn.
Don't like the dirty.
No love for Christina.
Yeah, just doesn't do it for me.
I think she looks weird now.
Oh,
but
of course, yeah.
She looks all plastic.
Well, and I'm on Bronson's side. She scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I thought it was hot. I'm weird.
Yeah, I was just confused at that time.
Wait, what? A very confusing point in my life.
Hold on. Wait, what? What were you confused about?
It was a very...
Oh, I didn't know if I was supposed to like her or she's supposed to scare me. But I'm into that now.
That's fair.
So,
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out Mercer on Fire that came out this past Monday with David Dooley. And also, shop at Amazon. Go to brosouptime.com/shop if you want some sweet-ass Bro Soup Time merch. Check out all our social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at Bro Soup Time. And David, why don't you plug some dates if you got them right there?
Yeah, absolutely. This upcoming Saturday, May 12th, I'll be the opening act for Sam Talent at the Rhino, which is in North Kansas City, just north of the river, north of downtown. So that's like I said, the May 12th this Saturday. Should be a packed house, pretty fun room. And then May 18th, I'm actually in Topeka at Top City Comedy, downtown Topeka. So that's 8 to 10, and then also it's an 8 o'clock show on May 12th. So there you go.
We're gonna get tickets at.
For the Rhino, you can get tickets. Actually, you should go to their website. You can get tickets for that show.
Okay.
And then for Top City, I think you can also just at the door for Top City. So.
No, bro.
Right on.
Fuck
you
yeah,
Well, we
man.
appreciate you joining us today. Thanks
man.
for coming on Mercer on Fire this past Monday. We love you guys. We're out.